Hi, everyone. This is Aaron, and you are listening to Walnut Notes, the podcast for the members and friends of FCBC Walnut. I have Kevin Kwan here on the line. And Kevin, you just recently served this past winter at CMC, the Chinese Missions Convention. You served the youth as a small group leader as well as the games leader. Would you please tell us about that experience?
Hey Aaron, I thought being at CMC was pretty cool because I've never been at a conference with so many Chinese people all at once. I think there was like 3 or 4 thousand Chinese people, and it was just a really unique experience. Just so many different Chinese churches coming together to be taught about what it means to go out and be unleashed for God's glory into the nations, into our neighborhoods, and into like the world. So I thought that was really cool. When I was at CMC, I mostly worked with the youth program, and so there's a youth program that had 6th to 12th graders, and so I was a small group leader there, and I was also one of the games lead over there, and I thought that was a pretty challenging part of the process because usually I don't lead games for hundreds of people, and so Robert, the guy who's in charge of the youth program, when he first asked me to do it, I initially said no because I just didn't think I had the ability, and I think if I were honest, I was probably more concerned with, oh, what if the games don't turn out well? What if the kids don't like it? What if it just doesn't work out? And that would just be really, really bad, and I feel bad about myself. And so that's why I initially said no. But the more I learned that there was a need, and their volunteers were kind of short, I think God was convicting me that it's not necessarily about the results, whether or not everyone's super excited about the games, but that there is a need and to simply serve because that's where the need is. And so I think I learned like a lesson in leadership and being a servant, that it's not necessarily about the results or if I necessarily fully enjoy doing the task, but sometimes there's a need, and if I have the time and if I have the resources, then that's something I should be able to do. And as it turns out, I thought it was actually really fun to lead games for hundreds of people. I think God was good and provided me with a team. So a couple of us from church, Nolan, Vanessa, Gabe, we all got together for about 4 weeks in a row just to brainstorm what kind of games can bring people together. And so it was really fun just to work together as a team, buy supplies together, and just really serve the youth. And just being in the youth program as well, it was cool to see so many different youth from different churches because I'm usually only used to seeing my youth, but to see so many different youth from around the area, from around the United States, I guess it reminded me that youth have a lot more influence than they think. Like if the younger generation, youth, high schoolers, junior high students, if they get excited about something, that's like inspiring to people who are older than them. And so something that I want to take away from this conference is I want to hold the youth to a higher standard because I think they can match it. I think they can meet these expectations to be unleashed into God's world. They can have an impact in their schools. They can have an influence. But a lot of times I don't think they realize the impact that they can have. So that's something I really want to take back to FCBC, especially to the youth, that they have a voice in their schools. They can be a light in the darkness. So overall, I really enjoyed serving at CMC.
Kevin, my prayer is that the youth wouldn't let anyone look down on them because they are young, but that they would set an example for the believers. So yes, I will join you in holding them to that standard. Kevin, I count it as a blessing to be able to serve the youth alongside you, and I am looking forward to this year. Thank you everyone for listening. See you soon.